So, Triple C, it went the way you thought it would go. Why was Covington
Yeah.
able to cruise throughout this entire fight?
Well, it's not so much Covington at this point. It's more of actually Masvidal. What Masvidal could have done. I think Masvidal could have probably conquered the center a little bit more. You don't want to be near the cage with Kobe whatsoever, because that's when he was popping things off. That's when he was just smoking the hands and going straight for the takedowns. You know what I mean? He was just setting up, throwing this facade, and then going straight to the double leg or whatever. So I think George shouldn't have been in these wrestling positions as much. I think if we would have conquered the center, mastered the distance a little bit more, and continue to keep kicking the leg like he was in the beginning, I think we would have had more success. But just the simple fact that he allowed Kobe to press him, it just changed the whole fight. And it's exactly what I thought was going to happen. But it could be something that could easily be fixed if Masvidal finds the right engineers.
Well, he does have Bo Nickel. He's got all the Penn State accolades, who is the wrestling coach over at ATT.
Yeah.
But it seems like within the first minute of that fight, the tone was already set. There was a complaint of an eye poke. Kobe pressed him against the cage. He was able to take him down, and that seemed to be the theme of the entire night. Masvidal seemed to accept that, listen, I'm going to have to fight this guy. I'm going to have my back up against the cage. He wasn't able to impose his will, and it was Colby Covington imposing his will, and that stayed through 5 rounds. That's how the schmo felt.
Yeah, and I think I think there's so much pride, there were so much things on the table that it allowed George to freaking survive that fourth, because he was tired, man. So kudos to George, man. He came in shape, but at the same time, it's almost like, you know what you're going up against. Kobe has done that to you in practice. He said it, that he's done that to you in practice. I mean, these are just adjustments that Masvidal has to do. This is why it's always important. Like, whenever I'm talking to kids or whatever, like, everybody wants to do jiu-jitsu because it's fun. Everybody wants to do striking because it's fun. There's one sport that is not that fun. It's only meant for the few, the proud. And I'm not talking about the Marines. I'm talking about wrestling. It's a sport that will literally mold you and give you this certain callous, this certain badge of honor where you understand that grind. And Kobe's been to that school, and he's been able to put that wrath amongst all his opponents, except the guys that have been to that exact same school, like Kamaru Usman or Khamzat Chimaev. He ain't gonna do that to Chimaev. Chimaev's gonna end up probably doing that to him. So it's you know what I mean. It's the best. It's the best style that somebody could have, and it's just to grind somebody out.
Well, what do you think Masvidal's game plan was going into this? Because obviously they got the familiarity. He knows that Kobe's got the edge in wrestling. What do you think Masvidal's game plan was that he wasn't able to execute here?
Honestly, I think Masvidal's game plan was just to hurt him. I think because it got so personal. He's talking about family, talking about all that. He's talking about his kids. I ain't like that. I ain't like that. Even though I'm a Kobe fan, I think it's super hilarious, dude. I think he went a little too far with talking about George Masvidal's kids, and then naming them, and then his ex-wife and the alimony. That, man, that stuff right there, dude. That's literally, that's like fighting you outside in the street if I ever see, type of stuff. But it is what it is. He got the victory. Congratulations to Kobe Broken Jaw Covington.